Alright, so today we're going to be going over two functions in C that are very important when it comes to dealing with strings. They're very basic and they're also built upon a very fundamental function in C itself, and I just want to go over it. So in this video, we're going to go over the sprintf and the sscanf function. So if you know just a little bit of C, I'm sure you guys know about what scanf and the printf functions are. They're the basic functions that deal with interacting with the terminal one way or another, whether that be outputting something into the terminal or gathering input and data from the terminal. We can just go, for starters, something really basic here. We can just do printf, hello world. We have this, right? Say we also want to input something, right? So we want to input like my name and say hello, right? You know, we would print a statement asking the user to enter your name. So at this point, you would then create a variable named input that will be a character array, aka a string. So we can just do char input. We'll assign like 10 elements to it, really. So then the user inputs whatever, like their name, into the terminal, and we want to call the function that will pull that data from the terminal and scan it and then assign that data into a variable that we've named input. And so we will call on our scanf function. So we'll do scanf and we'll catch our string and we'll assign it to input. And then finally, we want to print out, hello, the user's name. So we'll do printf hello, print out the string, and that string will be whatever is assigned into the variable input. So I'll put my name in here, and there you go. I put my name, and the scanf function pulled that data that I entered into the terminal. And then when I called upon the next printf function to print out hello and then my name, it was able to take the input from the terminal, assign it to this variable, which was a character array, aka a string, and then we were able to kind of just paste down to where this is supposed to be, and we got my name right here, hello Rafan. All the data that we've been pulling from and also outputting to has been from the terminal, from right here, right? However, these two new functions that are built upon the two fundamental functions that I just went over, printf and scanf, these two new functions, instead of pulling input-output data from the terminal, it pulls in data from strings. And in C, strings are represented as an array of characters or an array of char types. The very concept of sscanf and scanf is basically the same thing, because what scanf is doing is that whatever the user input is on the terminal, which is caught right here in the scanf function, it assigns it to the variable that we put in the second parameter of the scanf function. It assigns it to this variable, input, and since this is a character array, this will contain a string, and in the last example, it contained my name, which is a string. Sscanf is no different. Instead of pulling it from the terminal and the user input, it's going to pull it from the string. So let's create a character array, aka a string. We'll call it numbers, and we will basically just put the numbers 100, 200, and 15.5. So this is our string right here. Now I want to take these numbers and I want to assign them to a variable. So I know that we're going to have two int types and we're going to have one float type, right? Because we have 15.5 here being our float and these two being our ints. So let's create the int variables, let's say a and b. Let's create our float variable c. So now this is where our sscanf function comes into play. Where in our regular scanf function, we had two parameters, which was basically the catching of our user input and assigning that data to the variable input. The sscanf function is going to have three parameters. The first parameter is going to take the string variable itself. So the variable that contains the string, which in this case will be numbers. The second parameter will then take the catch statements, %s being strings, %d being ints, %f being floats, and so on. And then the third parameter assigning the caught string values into the respective variables that you want it to be stored in. So we're going to do sscanf. We're going to take our original input, which was numbers. We want to catch a integer. We want to catch another integer, and we want to catch a float. And finally, we want to assign these two ints to A and B, and then this float into C. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the and sign, the address of A, comma, and the address of B, then the address of C. And there you go. Basically, this function has now effectively scanned this string and has pulled from this string these three numbers and assigned them to their respective variables. So now to check, we can use the printf statement. So we'll do printf, and then we'll check each of the variables to see if they are assigned to their respective value. And there you go. We just got our values right here. So our scanf function did work. The int variable A was assigned to the value 100, int variable B was assigned to the value 200, and our float variable C was assigned to 15.5, just how it was supposed to be. Finally, we're going to go over sprintf. Basically, what printf was doing is printing our data, like a string, for example, onto the terminal. What sprintf is going to do is that instead of, let's say, having a string printing out to the terminal, you're going to be able to print that string onto a character array. So basically, you're going to be able to format the data and store it in the character array. So it's basically like working backwards of the scanf function, where you were pulling from the character array and assigning variables to whatever was in that character array, the string. This time you're actually basically writing to it. So think about, instead of pulling a int and a float from the string, putting a int and a float into the string. I'm going to uncomment this. We're going to use these variables, and we're going to basically build a string using our sprintf function. So let's create a new character array. So we'll call this new string, and we'll set it with a buffer of like 50, I don't know. We have our int variables and our float variable already assigned to a number, and we check that with this print statement right here, and we are given that also right there. So all we're going to do is we're going to do our sprintf. Our sprintf, just like scanf, has three parameters. You're going to put in the string that you want to print into, so that's going to be new string. We're going to catch the integers. In fact, let's be a little cheeky and do some addition actually. And in our third parameter, we're going to just put the variables that we want in order of the format that we have. So we're going to do A, B, C, and then because we did some cheeky addition with these two ints in this float, we're going to do A plus B plus C. And if we want to print the results of our new string, all we have to do is just do printf. We'll catch our string and put in the new string. And there you go. We just got our new string, which is this. This string right here is assigned to this character array right here. And we were able to do that because we basically built this string using sprintf, basically printing into the character array instead of our terminal. But, well, we did end up printing into the terminal because we used printf, but yeah. But yeah, that's basically sscanf and sprintf. I hope you guys liked this video. Um, I hope this was intuitive. I might have gone a little bit more in depth than I should have, although I do like kind of explaining step by step these very simple things because it not only helps me learn, but I think it helps viewers, especially the new ones who are just getting into programming. It'll help them understand the context of all these and just like ingrain more in their head about using the code and using these functions. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Give me feedback on it if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.